Hello guys from Umbral 11. This is your teacher here, and today I wanna make a review about passive voice, the topic we saw last unit. And I've seen that some of you had some questions, so I'm gonna explain it again in this video, and I'm gonna leave you some more extra exercise so you can practice at home, right? So let's start saying that most of the sentences we use are active, right? For example, in this case we have a past simple positive question. And the question is and the sentence is I did my homework, right? That's a sentence in active. In that sentence, the passive voice will be my homework was done by me. So, what's the difference between active and passive is that in active, we want to emphasize in the person that the certain task or verb. For example, the verb is did, right? That's the verb, did. So we want to emphasize that I did my homework. However, when we talk about passive voice, we want to emphasize in the action and the object that received the action. Let me change a little bit this. So this is the object. Why is this the object? Because that homework is receiving the action. I am the person that's doing the action, and did is the verb, and my homework is receiving the action. In passive voice, we put that object into the beginning so we can make emphasis on the fact that the homework was done and they sit. We don't care much about who did the action, right? So this is the verb, right? Let me change this. We don't care who did the action, in this case, the subject, who was me. We don't really care, or we don't know sometimes um, about it. So those are the main uses. So we say that passive voice is used when the focus is on the action and the object that received the action, right? It is not important or not known, however, who or what is performing the action. For example, my bike was stolen. Probably you don't know who stole your bicycle, but you want to emphasize that your bike was stolen, right? Probably to the police. Probably your bike was stolen, and you want to go you go to the police and you say, hey, my bike was stolen. I don't know who did it, but my bike was stolen, right? So the focus is on the fact that my bike was stolen. I don't know, however, who did it. Sometimes an statement in passive voice is more polite than active voice. For example, we can say that a mistake was made. So in this case, it's a fact that a mistake was made, but we don't say who did it. If you say you have made a mistake, that will be like a little bit rude for the person that's doing the mistake, right? So we only want to emphasize that a mistake was made, right? So that takes us to the form. In active voice, we see that the common structure we know: subject plus a verb plus an object and plus complement, right? And in passive voice, that changes a little bit. We have the object, right? We have the object comes from this place, to this place, right? Then we have the verb, right? The verb, in this case, this verb goes in here, but look at it, verb in past participle. And we add another verb, the verb to be. In this case, the verb to be receive the negative and the tense. We're gonna see that later, don't worry. The subject, or the person that's doing the action, is passed here, but it's optional. Look at it, it's optional. And the complement at the end. So we're gonna, as I told you, the verb to be, in this case, the verb to be receives the negative and the tense change. So For example, in present simple, the tense uses the same, but again the focus is on the object and the action, not the subject that does the action. So let's analyze this sentence. The teacher, this is positive, the teacher plays the bass every day. So who's doing the action? The teacher, of course. The teacher plays the bass. Let me turn back. Okay. The teacher plays the bass every day, right? What is the verb? The verb, it's plays, right? So let me change this, plays. And the bass, what is the bass? The one that is receiving the action, of course. And every day is kind of a complement, right? So let's look at the structure. We pass the object to the beginning. So the base, right? We add the verb to be. As I told you, the verb to be is the one that receives the tense change in present simple, right? So in this case it's is because it's the base, right? The base is probably if it's in plural, for example, the bases. If we say the bases, in this case it would not be is, but it would be are, right? The bases are played, but in this case because it's singular, so the bass is played every day by the teacher, right? So is played, the verb to be, every day, that's the complement. You can switch you can say the bass is played by the teacher every day, or you can say the bass is played every day by the teacher, and it's totally okay. You can switch between these two parts, and it's up to you, right? So in the negative, we say that the teacher doesn't play the bass every day. This doesn't indicate that it's negative, so the negative will be passed to the verb to be. So we say the bass isn't played by every day by the teacher, right? That's in negative. In questions, however, uh, we're gonna remark, well, does the teacher play the bass? So again, who's doing the action? The teacher, of course. We say that. Who's what is the verb? Play, right? Play. And who's the object? The bass, right? Also, we're gonna pass the bass at the beginning, and because it's a question, we're gonna put the verb to be first, right? As I told you, verb to be first, then the verb to be in the member in past participle, and at the end, well, this is optional. Remember, by the teacher. Is the place played by the teacher? In past simple happens the same. But remember that verb to be in present can be is, am, or are, depending on the because it's passive voice, so depending on the object. Because if you, for example, it would be, and another example would be, the students ask me a lot, right? That's inactive. So we can say ask me. So that me, it's I am asked a lot by the students. Remember, three forms of the verb to be: is, am, or are in present. However, when we will change to past simple, we have was and were, right? So we say that the teacher played the bass yesterday. How do we know that sentence is in past? Because of the verb. Look at the verb. It's in past simple. The teacher played the bass every day. So instead of using the bass, we say the bass. Instead of saying is, because is in present, so you have to pass that verb to into past. Was played yesterday by the teacher. The same happens in negative. So it is not isn't, now it wasn't. The teacher didn't play the bass every day. Oh well, yesterday, well, whatever. The bass wasn't played every day by the teacher, right? The same happens with the question. In the question we have, did the teacher play the bass? But when we pass that into passive, we say, was the bass played by the teacher? Right? And there are some more complex sentences. So, my boss told me not to come in tomorrow. Right? This is a little bit tricky, but we're gonna analyze it. Try to make it at home. Try to make it at home. try if you can do it. We're gonna do it right now. You can pause the video, do it at home, and tell me if you were correct. So what you're going to do is that you're gonna find the main verb, right? Which is the main verb? Told me. Told, right? Told. Who's telling, well, who's doing that action? My boss, right? My boss. And who's receiving that action? Well, me, right? Right? Not to come in tomorrow, that's, well, more kind of a compliment. So we can say that. So if we transform that, so first the object, in this case the object is me, and we don't say me was told, no, we say I, well, told is in past, so I was told is the past participle of tell, is tell, told, right? I was told not to come in tomorrow, and by my boss, right? Of course, this is active. This is active. The first sentence is active. So we say that this one is right. What about this one? Many companies kill different animals around the country. Is this passive or this is active? What do you think? Well, this is active, of course. This is active. So try to do it at home again. Pause the video, and I'm gonna tell you the answer right now. So try to look up for the main verb. What is the main verb? Killed, right? This is the main verb. Who's doing that action? Many companies. And who's receiving the action? Different animals, right? Well, actually, it's this one. Different animals around the country, because it's a specific subject, right? So we say that different animals around the country. This is past or present? Well, this is past. So because it's animals, it's plural. So were killed by many companies, right? So remember, in this case, we transform me into I. There is a pronoun. There is a pronoun change, right? So we say, I painted my room. So my room is receiving the action, and I am the person that is doing the action. So I, in the last part, for example, let me remark this. I am the subject, right? And when you pass it, you say by me. Another example is she kicked him, right? She is the receiver, so she transformed into her, right? Not into she. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is a wrong sentence. And that one that is receiving the action, him, you don't say him was kicked by her. You say he was kicked by her, right? This sentence is incorrect. Him was kicked by she. No, you say he was kicked by her. Remember, there are these two. Well, these two are the changes we know. When you do the action, is this one, and when you receive the action, is this one. But you have to transform them, right? When you make sentences. So if it's an object, transform it into a subject. If it's a subject, transform it into an object, right? You make that change. So you say I, me, you, he, him, she, her, it, we, us, they, them, right? And then remember to make like a review of past participle irregular verbs. I'm gonna let you this no, this is not, no, it's not this page, it's this page, right? This page, you're gonna have different reviews about the different verbs and in patterns, so you can take a look at them and review those verbs for you to have a better comprehension of the topic, right? I'm not gonna explain that because you have seen this, so just for you to have a little review, right? So see you next class and bye.